Are you aware that the world is finally rewarding quiet people? Wow. Unlike before that quiet people were being overlooked by other people, and those persons that are very loud were always being given all the attention and then opportunities. But guess what, my beloved friend? Something has really changed recently that is really mind blowing, because the truth is this: today, as we speak, many of the most successful people are winning just because of the qualities that the quiet people have naturally, without the quiet people going into training or any sort of stress. Okay, but that is not the most important part, and that is why I want you to stay with me until the very end of today's video, because the content in this video has what it takes to help you to really understand exactly why the traits that you are endowed with naturally as a quiet person, that you once thought prior to this time as being weakness or even a disadvantage on your own side, will now become your greatest advantage. Okay, so let us dive into today's video properly right now, without wasting much of our time again. I am a very quiet and reserved, just like you. And that is why I know exactly the problems that you are really facing in your life, being a quiet person, and the feeling it brings. But you do not have to be shy about it. I want you to loosen up just a little so that we can really talk about it, because the problem known, they say, is half solved. And talking to a person that is like-minded like me really brings more relief and then assurance to you. Knowing that you are a quiet person won't be a big deal at all until people start to tell you always that you really need to speak up more for yourself. Then the battle begins internally within you, and this will now make you to start avoiding people and situations that will bring a push up for you to always speak up now. But that is not the most frustrating part, because you still have this feeling of always being ignored and then looked as not being important when you are in the midst of others. And this really affects you in a negative way, because you now start to feel shy, odd, and then finally you start to doubt yourself, and your eyes are now open to just you seeing your disabilities only and not your abilities anymore. This worst experience is really frustrating, because you have to now watch the loudest people getting all the needed attention, and so your heart is now bleeding with a lot of questions rolling in and out your head and mind. For instance, you start telling yourself, why don't people really notice me? And whatever that I do, why? And this unanswered question really creates a deep hole in your heart. And this is heartbreaking, I must tell you. Having gone through everything that I have just told you earlier, the issue of you actually overthinking creeps in slowly. And so you start to see yourself as being your own problem. And that is not a funny situation at all, because You now have this mindset that you are now being stuck in your life, or you are not moving fast in the pace that you really want, and then you are now concluding that it is as a result of you being a quiet person. I want to quickly remind you that you are not alone in whatever that you are currently facing or passing through right now in your life. Okay? Because you are being a quiet person. And that is why I created this video specifically for you. So I want you to relax and then allow me to help you. Okay? The good news that I have for you today is that there is now a big shift happening, and I am very sure that you are eager to know and also to hear it. Okay? The world and the people within it are now tired or fed up with the constant noise that have been trending before from the loud ones. And guess what, my beloved friend? Right now, the world and everyone wants something different. The world wants something unique, that is authenticity. People are tired of the fakeness, unrealistic things, and the copying of each other. But the interesting part of it is that you can get authenticity from the quiet people and not from the loud or the loudest people that most of the time they are always being loud. Quiet people are now the hot cake in town because they are deep thinkers that speak less and think more. So what goes? Congratulations to you, for it is your season to shine. Be visible, get the needed respect, and be remembered for your great impact to humanity and then the society at large. Okay? Now, in a world that is filled with a lot of noise, listening has become a rare skill. And in a world that is moving fast and then filled with noise, listening have become a rare skill. And I am damn serious when I say it, because people are so impatient right now. And I can prove that to you because even here on YouTube, my beloved friend, I have come to realize one thing, that people do not always watch a long form video down to the very end. And what they don't know is that they are really missing out on important informations that might really help them in their life. And it takes only the quiet ones to actually watch a long form video down to the very end, because they are patient people that listen more than they speak or talk. Okay? And that is why I am telling you right now that if you have watched this video up to this very point, then count yourself as a rare and then unique personality or person, because the very traits that once made the quiet people feel left behind in life have suddenly become increasingly valuable right now. And so it is worth celebrating. It is a good news. At this point, I want to unveil to you the 3 reasons why quiet people are now winning. Number 1, quiet people listen more. And that is why the quiet ones understand what other people don't understand better. And this singular quality really helped them to build a stronger relationship with their loved ones, because they are always there for their loved ones whenever they needed a listening ear. And also because quiet people are good at listening, they are able to grab important, information that always help them to avoid unnecessary mistakes in life. Unnecessary mistake that can rob them of their peace, that can rob them of their growth, and so much more in life. Number two, quiet people are always great thinkers, and so they think before ever they start acting. And that is why quiet people love to have quiet moments to themselves so that they can really process any information properly before ever they jump into taking any action, because they do not want to now waste their time, their energy, and even their resources on something and then start regretting later about it, since they always care about their decisions to always come from reflection. Okay, number three, quiet people are known for being focused. They are known for being focused because they are people that do not have interest in people pleasing, but they will rather invest their precious time, their energy, and then their resources rather on meaningful things that will add value to their life. And also, quiet people are people with a unique mindset that always believe that consistent progress always beats consistent attention. And so they do not really care much about how many people are really watching them, but they really take pleasure in seeing how they are really growing in real time. And also they celebrate their little wins, no matter how small or tiny it may be. Now, there are common mistakes that the quiet people usually make. And this is where we, the quiet ones, get it all wrong. We always have this feeling that being quiet is a sign of us being weak. And so, since it is not in our DNA to be loud as the loud ones, we see ourselves as being powerless. That is not all because it now makes us to start hiding ourselves always so that we won't be spotted out in any way. Now, what happens next is really surprising indeed, because we now bury our own identity, our talents, our potentials, our skills. You just name it for yourself. And then we live a life of pity without sharing our values to add value in the lives of others. Now, do not get me wrong. Aim of today's video is not to encourage you to be loud, because that is not who you truly are. But the goal of today's video is really to help you to become visible without you actually losing who you truly are. This is very important for you to know, okay? Now, let us talk about how you can strive well as a quiet person in today's world. Number one, having in mind that those around us are the loud ones with noise. How do you strive well then? You just have to speak only when you have something that is very meaningful for you to say, okay? Number two, in reality, most people are really doing eye service to get others' attention drawn to themselves. In this situation, how can you strive as a quiet person? You just have to keep building your skills. Instead of you chasing people's attention, It is very important for you to note this, okay? Now, number 3, in a world that is full of people with sweet mouths, what are you going to do to strive as a quiet person? Let your action be more than your words to distinguish yourself from them, okay? Number 4, you have to work on your confidence quietly, not loudly, because you are surrounded with the loud ones that are always making the noise to get all the needed attention and then recognition to themselves. Now, the 5th one is, I know that sometimes it is easier said than done, okay? But it is very important for you being a quiet person not to always compare yourself with the loud ones, because you people do not have the same personality. Therefore, there is no need of the comparison at all. And so, I want you to stay with me because this changes everything totally. Now, listen. The world is really tired, and it is not even looking for another loud voice again because it is too used to it. And that is why the world is really looking for you, because you are someone that thinks before you ever take any action. The world is thirsty and then hungry for a great listener just like you. Okay? And you should believe me when I say it, that because you have proven that by watching this video up to this very point. Yes, the world is tired of the troubles that always comes from the loud ones with a big noise, and the world really needs you that is quiet to help bring sanity, calmness, and wisdom to create the needed difference. Now, do not forget that your quiet nature is not something that has to be fixed, but your quiet nature is rather something that you really need to develop every single day of your life. It is very important for you to know this. And I want you to always have these words that I am about to be telling you right now in your subconscious mind, that you being a quiet person is not a proof that you are falling behind in life. Your quiet nature is no longer a weakness, but rather it is now a strength that is now valuable. And so it is a valuable asset, okay, in this present day. Success does not only belong to the loud ones only, but it belongs to those people who consistently value it just like you. And so, congratulations to you once again. Bravo to you once again, because the world is finally rewarding quiet people. And it is not because quiet people have suddenly become louder, but it is because the quiet people have learned the value of their own voice and its unique nature in the world that we are currently living right now. Okay? Now, if I was able to touch that soft spot in your heart, then give this video a like, share it with someone, turn on your notification, and finally subscribe to this channel for more. And I will see you again in my next video. Don't go nowhere.